Well, howdy friends, and welcome back to Toy Box Nostalgia. I'm Douglas. In this video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing and taking a super duper close look at the absolute brand new 2026 Super 7 Ultimate Silverhawks Melodia. Oh, Melodia is in my house. I cannot believe it. Super 7 finally gave me the action figure I've been waiting my whole life for. And this looks excellent. And I gotta say, she's very cartoon accurate. This is gonna be a fun review video if you're a fan of Silverhawks for sure. Yeah, so I honestly had poor choice in women. As a kid, I had crushes on her and Shadow Weaver. Maybe it's just villains, I don't know, but this chick is the epitome of the 1980s. Her style, her charisma on screen, everything about her being a musician with her keytar and just being in outer space. She's laughing incessantly like a witch. I don't know what it was. My green eyes staring up at the TV saw a star. So please let me know in the comments below, did you order this wave of Silverhawks from Super 7? Did you see hardware? Holy moly, that guy looks excellent also. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening for this unboxing and review video. We have a lot to look at, my friends, so let's just dive right in. Okay, so let's kick this off by taking a close look at the Super 7 Ultimate Silverhawks packaging for Melodia. So this is the packaging we typically see with all Super 7 Ultimate's Silverhawks antagonists, and it is very shiny. Down here says Melodia. You have that beautiful Silverhawks logo right there, and a silver band that goes across the whole window right there. Speaking of window, the window stretches over to the side. Kind of see right there. Yeah, you kind of see her profile in there. It's kind of cool. And we have the action figure and all of her accessories in what looks like a single bubble here inside of the packaging. Up here at the top, we have the Ultimates logo. Up here says ages 14 plus. This is a collector's item, not really a toy. And then over here on the top right, we have the Super 7 logo. On the top, we have the Silverhawks logo and more of that beautiful red, blood red colored galaxy. On the back here, we have that beautiful ghostly image we would have seen on the Kenner toy if we received one in the 1980s. I love the way that Super 7 pulled this off because I think they did a great job. It's very hard to see because everything is so reflective and shiny. And then we have a bio right here. It's definitely not showing up in the viewfinder, so I'll just read it to you. It says, a musical mistress who is a nemesis of Silverhawks Bluegrass. Melodia is the only female member of the Monstar gang. Her main weapon of choice is her keytar that she named the Sound Smasher. Her weapon produces a powerful energy beam in the form of destructive musical notes and has devastating effects on anything in its path. Melodia is often seen in the Limbo Limo, cruising around, causing havoc and mayhem. Flipping over to the bottom, again, everything is kind of chromed out and kind of hard to read. It says Super 7. We have the super7.com address here. It says contents, one figure and accessories, and the barcode is also a foil. And then it says 14 plus. So that is the packaging in a nutshell. I do believe this is the very first Melodia action figure ever in existence. And it's made by Super 7, and I think they nailed it with the packaging. Let's go ahead and get her out of here. Inside the box, we do have a blood red flat finish background, which is just simply cardboard. You can see on the back. Inside the box itself is just raw cardboard. Also inside the box is this magnificent bubble. That's right, we only have one bubble. I do see a bunch of tape, but I only see one band and it's going across her waist. Okay, my friends, here's everything that came inside of that bubble. I kind of arranged it the way it was in the bubble. We have a boatload of hands. Not only does she come with hands on her body itself, but we have all of these additional hands here. We do have the beautiful music effects that comes out of the Sound Smasher. It's such a cool weapon. I love it. And then we have what looks like a 1990s cordless phone right there. You know, you remember talking on one of these to your friends in high school. And then we have an additional head. So let's kick this off by taking a close look at the action figure details. Wow, this is truly beautiful. I really like the head sculpt a lot. I think Super 7 crushed it, making a 3D representation of something like this. Must have been quite a challenge to get it to look this good. But she has her yellowish green hair here in the front, and then she has her pine green colored hair here, and you can see there's a wash inside of it. That's really cool. Her glasses, which are a music note, by the way, if you didn't know that, are done really well. I kind of wish they were red instead of magenta. But the blue color is great. Her skin tone is great. It's like a very cool, very desaturated grayish tone. and you can see her lips are a peach color there. Very nice. Her Cyndi Lauper 80s looking outfit, right? Her whole look is just so 80s pop looking to me. Absolutely awesome. Looks great, and it's all a flat finish, which is awesome. I just kind of wish that her long fingerless gloves, her belt, and her boots weren't a magenta and were just like a bright red, and her belt seems a bit too tight. I do remember her belt coming down on her left side a little bit because it was loose, and then we have this peg right here where the Sound Smasher connects to her belt. Another thing I noticed is that underneath these cuffs right here on her shoulders should be the same color as this right here, I feel like, underneath here. And then there's like a strange stain, it looks like, on her arms. I don't know what that's from. I don't know if Super7 did that intentionally to like bring out her muscles, but I kind of wish that weren't there. And yeah, her leggings look great and her boots look great. Oh yeah, definitely. Look at the shape of the boots. Absolutely 1980s Melodia looking. Her dress is a soft rubber vinyl feel to it. The color of the cuffs is perfect. It's like an extremely desaturated, super light peach color. And all of these colors together look fantastic. Honestly, I really love the sculpting. I love her proportions. I think she really looks like Melodia as we saw her on our CRT TVs in the 1980s. Yeah, and you can see her leggings are two-tone, just like we saw in the cartoon. They're darker on the inside. And then this peach color is the same peach color we see up here on the cuffs. Look at her collarbones and her neck. Sculpting is perfect. Look at her back muscles too. I don't know who sculpts these, by the way. I didn't see any credit on the box or even on the listing of this toy, Super7, so I just assumed they did. And somebody had called out that Super7 had hired 4 horsemen to do these sculpts for Thundercats. I don't know if it's the same with Silverhawks or not. I don't know where to find that information. If you know where I can find that information, can you please drop in the comments below? That way I can give credit to the right people. And thank you so much for the folks commenting on this guy. This was a fun one to open. All right, next up, let's take a look at some of these accessories. I want to start with this head. So this head, it looks exactly like this head, except we have a different mouth pose. Like a different expression, you know. She was always laughing incessantly and just being super evil and screaming. And wow, the profile is so good on these. And the back, even from the top, you can see, looks fantastic. Up inside here, you can see the socket where the peg from the neck goes into when you snap it in onto the ball peg. And another thing I'm noticing is her chin is like a normal chin. And obviously this was like Rankin Bass anime, essentially. So she had a very pointy face, I remember. It was one of the things I really liked about her. And now the Sound Smasher. Another thing that I noticed about this, well, 2 things actually. First of all, I used to have a Play School cassette player that looked like this. It was a little bit taller though, and if I could find one, a reference, I'll put it right there. It had almost the same, I think maybe the same colors right there as the big buttons on the same exact side and everything. So yeah, really showing my age here. But this looks awesome. The second thing I figured out, or just noticed rather, was the flat and sharp keys are on the bottom instead of on the top. And that actually kind of makes sense. The way you hold this and play this, you know, it's like you want to play it like you're playing a piano. Keytars, I feel like they're the other way around. So it's just kind of like a big keyboard with a piece on the top. But this is the handle that she holds onto up here. And the strap is black. I kind of wish it were this color right here. The same color as these, I guess, tubes or wires right here where it connects to her body or her belt. Just because I don't remember it being black, but it's very soft and very nice looking. And it does connect. You can see there's pegs right there where it connects. And holy crap, look at those knobs right there. They were always in that position. I don't remember her ever changing those. And then take a look at where this piece right here, like the barrel, connects to the actual keyboard. Those pieces right there were in the cartoon, but I feel like they were a little rounder. You could see there's like notches going all the way around it where it connects. And then pretty much everything else looks spot on for the cartoon. And mine isn't warped or anything, which is good news. This piece right here, these are just wires, and this is a little box. The box connects to her belt, and then this is another wire right here. Super7 did Melodia's Sound Smasher absolute justice. I think this is perfect. And then again, we get this like 1990s looking cordless phone. You can see it's very plain. It's very simple. It is a flat gray color. and it looks like it's from a cartoon. Like, this looks like something NECA would make for the Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line that they were doing. It's very cartoonish. And then this piece up here, just like in the 1990s, is a bendy antenna, right? And it is painted a silver color, not really a chrome or anything. Next up, we have the effects for the Sound Smasher. We get 2 of those, right? So this is the one whenever the Sound Smasher was kind of like cooling off, whenever she'd be holding it, and we can see how it connects right here. Very cool. I apologize for the dryness of my hands. I live in Pennsylvania, and it is very snowy and very, very dry. But take a look at that. You know, it's kind of like just coming out of there like smoke coming out of a barrel, right? That's how I remember it anyway. On the back of it, the whole thing is 3D. So all the sculpting that you see right here, it's on both sides, all the musical notes, and it's painted in 2 tones, and it is clear plastic, though it kind of looks pink because of the paint. And I guess there's some clear pink colored plastic. I truly don't know how this was manufactured, but perfect. If you ask me, that's absolutely perfect. Next up, we have this one, and this is the one where she's actually like trying to, you know, hit Tally Hawk, or Bluegrass, obviously, right? Oh my god, Bluegrass and Melodia in the comic books were so cool together, and that I think it was issue number 2. Let's see, I'm going to connect this right here. Just kind of pushes in there and stays in there with friction, actually. And you can see that there's a big burst effect right there. Beautiful, crystal clear, pink plastic. Look at all of those notes. This is a dream come true to hold this in my hands right now. I wanted this in real life when I was a kid so very badly. Wow, it's just beautiful, truly. I'm sorry, I'm like just kind of taken aback by this because I'm so excited to have Melodia. Next up, finally, we have a boatload of hands. So the hands that she comes with, these are going to be 2 balled up fists. And you can see she's wearing her fingerless gloves, and the skin tone, look at her knuckles, everything is sculpted really great. I don't see any flaws, but you can see her skin tone of her fingers matches her arms, her neck, and her face perfectly. And the rest of her hands, right? She should have some keytar playing hands, right? So I'm guessing this would be a keytar playing hand right here. You could probably pose her, you know, with it kind of like this, right? She does have an opposite, I guess it's an opposite version, because right here, her pinky fingers are kind of in a downward position, and then this one, her pointer fingers are up higher. I'd probably actually use this one a little bit more as the keytar playing hand. And then we have for her opposite hand, she has one that's sculpted very similar. But yeah, I'd say, okay, so these 2 are very similar right here. So the one where her pinkies are down, that's the same. She's going to get the right and the left. And then the one where her hand's in a more dynamic pose for like playing the keytar, that's going to be her left hand, obviously. And then finally, she gets 2 gripping hands, and obviously she's going to need this one. I think this one, actually she gets 3 gripping hands. All right, so she gets 2 left-handed gripping hands, and then she has 1 right-handed gripping hand, and I'm guessing this is the one she's going to use to hold the keytar. That's how she holds it right there. Super7, thank you. And then finally, we get some expressive hands, right? So we have the finger pointed. She was always pointing her finger. And I love how the finger's like curved out, like a real finger, like this. You know, like, so again, I said this before a couple of times. Whomever's doing these sculpts, if it's not Super7 or it's Super7, is really good at sculpting hands. Sculpting hands is not easy, I assure you. And then here we have a thumbs up hand. Again, all of these with the beautiful magenta fingerless gloves. So you get a total of 9 hands, including the 2 balled up fists. And that, my friends, is perfect. Next up, let's take a look at articulation, right? I'm going to start with the head. Because her head has this bulky hair right here, you can see she's going to have a little bit of trouble looking up, right? This is as much movement as you're going to get up and down. She gets a good amount of tilt. And then obviously it can spin 360. Here is the ball joint. You can see right here, it does have joystick movement in there, just like this. Let's see, I'm going to put on her expressive face for the remainder of this show. Joystick movement. Not really much at all. And I think it's because of the hair, and I'm okay with that. We have a saving grace here for looking up and down, and that is, look at this right here. Look at that amount of articulation in the upper torso. It must be a ball joint. This is perfect. We do have spin at the waist too, which is surprising to me. Like I don't think I'll ever understand the spin at the waist. I really like when there's a lot of movement up here. You kind of want to be able to break the composure, you know, Stan Lee style, right? With like a lot of poses and stuff like that, because cartoons, they're supernatural, you know, they're flying around in outer space without any gear on their face or anything. So, all right, moving down to the arm right here, we can see it spins 360. It's probably on a peg. Yeah, you can see the peg right there. Very nice. Has a massive hinge. Look at the range of articulation, all the way down like that to all the way back this way. And there you can see the socket. It goes horizontally straight across. We do have a bicep cut right there. And then obviously moving down to the elbow, single joint elbow spins because it's probably on a peg. I don't think it removes, and I don't want to try it. I don't want to break it. But we do have a big old hinge right there. And look at that. You could get amazing, truly amazing. Moving down to the wrist, you can see that there's a hinge going into the palm, and that is the same with both of these fists. So you're going to spin 360, obviously, because it's on a little peg right there, and you can see the hinge right there. All of the hands, by the way, have the hinges going into the palm, so you get the movement that's like this rather than up and down. Bodacious, right? Holy cow. Moving down to the waist, we saw it spins 360. Down at the legs, you could see definitely like a barbell style system where we have a peg that goes across holding them both together. Two big ball joints right there that can spin. Yeah, you can see the thigh is spinning on the ball joint right there as I'm turning it. That's movement right there. And obviously the huge hinge that you see inside there. It looks like I have some excess plastic in mine. Or maybe that's paint. Yeah, maybe that's paint right there inside the hinge. But luckily, Super7 made the plastic the same exact color as the paint. Why paint it then? I don't know. But that's okay. And her skirt's cut, right? So she can get really good range of articulation from the pelvis, essentially. Moving down, there's no upper thigh cut or anything like that. But moving down to the knee, it is a single joint and it spins. Yeah, very nice amount of articulation. And you can see it actually bends in the wrong direction. That's how good the articulation is. That's awesome. The boot, we don't get any boot cut right there, which is okay. You know, we don't get a boot cut in real life, right? And then moving down to the foot, we have a rocker at the foot, thank goodness. And then we have the big old hinge right there. All right, so let's see. If we twist her into a powerful battle position, can we get her feet planted on the ground flat? Absolutely. With her legs spread apart in this Y shape like this, you could get them flat on the ground. Perfect. So that is all of the articulation, all of the accessories, all of the beautiful details of this amazing action figure. And honestly, I am 99% absolutely thrilled with this action figure. The only things, honestly, I would change is maybe the belt's bigger, the magenta color, maybe a little more red. I do like having the magenta on here because it looks so very 1980s, and maybe I could just be remembering it wrong, but at least underneath here, I would make it the same color as these, the darker part of her leggings, and the shadow on her I don't know what that is. I don't know why that's there. It kind of almost looks like it's like dirt from the manufacturing process or something. It doesn't really look right on the action figure, but other than that, I'm happy. I'm so incredibly happy. So next up, we're going to do a measurement, and then we're going to do some comparisons with some other Super7 Silverhawks Ultimates action figures that I have in my collection. Okay, so to get the Sound Smasher on her, I removed her head, and I noticed that the Super7 painted this piece of plastic right here, which all the paint of it came off. I don't. You'll never see that. This piece should never be exposed, so I don't know why that was painted, but the Sound Smasher, like the strap, again, I kind of wish it were like this, like it were in the cartoon, but it's this big black strap. It goes around her back like so, and then this piece right here, you can see there's little buttons on there, like a red and a green button, and there's also this little peg hole right here. It goes onto the peg of her belt, just like that. It just stays on again with friction, And yeah, this part comes down on this side, and then she can play her keytar. And whoa, look at that, that's awesome. Okay, so it's all connected, everything looks great. This hand I put on, as you saw earlier, I did that to try as hard as I can. The plastic feels really gentle of the Sound Smasher, up here especially, like this handle piece right here. And then she always like leans backwards like this and has her legs spread apart like she's rocking, you know, she's like an 80s rocker. And then I'm gonna put this one with her mouth open, her head, snap it in here, there we go. Oh, there she is. This is incredible. All right, one more thing, let's put this one on, because this one is so cool looking. Smoking barrel, right? Look at that. Look at this action figure, my friends. This is Melodia in 2026 from Super7. Super7 made this, and it is so great. Look at that. Every angle of her looks fantastic. Just like in the cartoon, I'm seeing a star. Okay, so Melodia stands at exactly 6.5 inches tall when she has her legs together and standing straight up, which absolutely fits the scale. You can see I have Sky Shadow here, and Sky Shadow has a 4.5 inch wingspan, which I believe matches the scale really well. And the only other antagonist that I have, obviously, opened up here on the channel is going to be Monstar in his toy form. Right here, I don't even have the cartoon version opened up just yet. And there we have it, my friends. There is Melodia standing next to Monstar. What do you think of the scale? Let me know in the comments below. I think it's dead on perfect. Oh, these guys look so great together. All of the Silverhawk stuff seriously makes my brain so very happy. Okay, so next up I'm bringing in Quicksilver in his toy form. You can see he's vac metal, and he's obviously a Silverhawk. And look how good he looks standing next to Melodia. Even though she's cartoon accurate and this is toy accurate, you could look at this and just know that this is Silverhawks right here at its best. Okay, so next up we have Melodia with her nemesis. All of these together, look how good the Silverhawks Ultimates toy line is shaping up when you look at them together. And here we have Steelheart. I'm like kind of speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at right now. I don't know what's going on. It's beautiful, it's perfect. This is amazing. Let's get some more in here. And finally, I'm bringing in the phone freaker himself. Here we have Copper Kid. And this guy looks amazing. All of these truly look fantastic together, and I couldn't be happier, honestly, with a Silverhawks toy line. And Super7 killed it, in my opinion. These all look super fantastic. I have to do one more thing, and I have to do it for me. Okay, so here I'm bringing in my Filmation Super7 Club Grayskull version of Shadow Weaver, because I got to see these two together, and they look fantastic together. You can absolutely tell the same company made them because the sculpts look really similar, very close to each other. The colors look great. They're both flat finish, sort of. And I'd say they're roughly the same height, though Shadow Weaver obviously has this stand where she is kind of, you know, levitating all the time, which makes her a little bit taller, but seeing these two together is just, I just had to do it just to see that. And finally, let's bring in my vintage Commander Stargazer. Let's see, I'm going to stand him right there. And yeah, this is awesome. Like, this is truly amazing. I really think that Super7 did such an absolute fantastic job. I really, really hope they keep going with this toy line, because I'd love to see more characters like Seymour and Poker Face and the Time Stopper. Like, I want to see all of it. More accessories. I mean, they can give us Hawk Haven, you know, it'd be the size of my house. But it would still be super cool to see. Anyways, this has been the Toy Box Nostalgia unboxing and review and super duper close look at the absolute brand new 2026 Super7 Ultimate Silverhawks Melodia action figure. Again, I'm just like 99% absolutely thrilled with this action figure. That 1%, that's just nitpicky type stuff. Honestly, I don't even care. I just love having her here in my collection. She looks phenomenal. I can't wait to get more of the villains open, like Hardware and Darkbird and some of the others that I have just kind of sitting behind me right now. I just need to find time to open the stuff up here with you all because I love sharing the experience with you. Speaking of which, thank you so very much for staying to the end of the video of this evening, my friends. I truly hope that you enjoy the rest of your week, and always remember to grab your cameras and collect and shoot.